we have joining us this afternoon, and I really appreciate him taking the time to be with us. As a matter of fact, read this story in the Carolina Coast Online, the edition of the Carteret County News Times this morning, about turkeys and the opportunity that's being provided by the Salvation Army. We have Major Aaron Goldfarb in the studio with us. And with that, Major, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Lockwood. And I would say let's talk turkey, but
well,
that would be pretty bad.
No. I think we can talk turkey. Okay, we've got two things to talk about. We're going to talk turkey, and then we're going to talk red kettle.
Yes.
And by the way, we're not talking about stewing the turkey in the red kettle. Okay, let's start first about turkeys. Salvation Army, you have a great program going on.
Yeah, we're pretty excited. We're going to start distributing turkeys to our community starting tomorrow in Marshallburg. We're going to start in Marshallburg, get way out there with turkey distribution at Missionary. It is Trinity United Methodist Church.
Right.
So we'll be there in the parking lot at 5 o'clock. So if you're in that area.
5 o'clock in the afternoon.
If you're in that area, come up there. Only thing you need is an ID.
Okay.
Just one per household.
Okay. Wow. That's fantastic. And then you have two other dates you're going to be giving turkeys away.
Correct. On Thursday, we're going to go out to Atlantic Missionary Baptist Church, which is 926 Seashore Drive.
Okay.
And we're going to, in addition to our turkey distribution, we're going to do our regular hot meal delivery.
Soups.
There. Soup, Soap, and Salvation. And so we'll have meals there. And then if you're in the Morehead City, Newport area, Cape Carteret, etc., come to the Salvation Army on Friday from 8 to 12, and then from 1 to 4. And again, you have to have is ID. You don't have a 20-page application. You print your name and you sign, and that's it.
Wonderful. I compliment the Salvation Army on this for a variety of reasons, and I of course, I'm a big fan of the Salvation Army. I've seen firsthand the fact that the Salvation Army is a first responder. You really are. And I think, and you respond not only to the physical, but to the emotional, and, yeah, I'll even say spiritual. However, you are just there to provide. I want to, say that very important aspect of it. But you are the Salvation Army is a first responder, and I've seen it firsthand, and I really appreciate that. Major Aaron Goldfarb with us this afternoon. We're talking with him about what we just heard a moment ago, turkey giveaway. Let's talk about this for a moment. This is being done at the expense of the Salvation Army. Is that correct?
It absolutely is.
And I'm going to get you a little closer to that microphone. Yeah. It is. It's coming to the expense. It's coming from the expense of the Salvation Army.
Yep, the Salvation Army is covering that cost. It's at no charge to the people receiving the turkeys.
Okay, this is important because we're coming up to another item, and that is the funding and support, financial support for the Salvation Army. I just mentioned that, but you said something to me a moment ago. Of course, you're buying those turkeys. This is an important comment. You said the price has tripled over the past 3 years.
It is exponentially tripled.
I think this is important because there are a lot of people who cannot afford a turkey.
Right.
And that's the purpose of this. This is really for people who cannot afford to purchase a turkey.
And it defers some of the costs of their food.
It does. But I want folks to recognize this is for those who are in need.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I appreciate that. Is there any effort on your part to sort of identify these individuals and say, okay, look, you can afford this turkey if you go to the store, or
we're not going to scrutinize over the turkey on this particular one.
Okay, the Salvation Army is expressing faith in the goodwill, good intentions of our community. So I would just make mention of that to you, Major. I think this is an important aspect. Thank you for showing faith in our community. Let's hope that the community, well, I shouldn't say hope. I'm confident the community will respond in kind. Mm-hmm. So I think that's important. All right. First giveaway starts tomorrow in Marshallburg.
Yes.
And it's at Trinity Church?
Trinity United Methodist Church,
Church.
1163 Marshallburg Road in Marshallburg.
Okay. Second day is going to be
Thursday,
and that will be
Atlantic Missionary Baptist Church, 926 Seashore Drive, if you're in the Atlantic area.
okay. And then the final day, the Friday, will be at the Salvation Army.
Yes, Salvation Army, 2800 Bridges Street in Morehead City.
Okay. And by the way, that's a beautiful facility. And I mentioned a first responder. It's a shelter.
It can be.
Yeah. And you have a cook, I understand.
We are so super excited. We have a cook who just graduated from the Culinary Institute in Morehead City, and she just came back from France
Oh, wow.
on their internship. So she is cooking up a storm, and so we've already doubled our meals that we're doing to the community.
Fantastic. Okay, Salvation Army. We're going to talk about how people can contribute right after this break, but this is an opportunity. As you heard just a moment ago, the Salvation Army is doing this at cost. They are not, it's not being given away. All right. We've got more here. And when I say it's not being given away, it's not being given to the Salvation Army. Salvation Army is going out and funding this. It is free to the recipients, though.
Absolutely.
All right. More to come here on Viewpoints with Major Aaron Goldfarb of Carteret County Salvation Army. As I mentioned, we have Major Aaron Goldfarb of the Carteret County Salvation Army here in the studio, and I thank him for being here. A few moments, I want to recap this. You're giving away turkeys in Marshallburg tomorrow, starting at what time?
5 p.m.
5 p.m. Okay. And then the next day is, 2 days later, it's in Atlantic.
Atlantic Missionary Baptist Church at 5 p.m.
5 p.m. And then on Friday?
On Friday at the Salvation Army, 2800 Bridges Street, 8 to 12 and 1 to 4.
Okay. And just show up and have identification.
That's it.
This is for those who find themselves in terrible straits. You said something before we moved to the Red Kettle. You said something to me a moment ago off air about the circumstances you're seeing. You're seeing people now who are in need as never before.
We're seeing people to come into our office for the very first time. We're seeing people that have never went to a social service agency asking for help, and now they find themselves sleeping in their car or needing help with their rent, and so we're seeing a desperation that I've never seen.
That is stunning, and we're talking about a fairly lucrative county in Carteret County. Okay, and now let's move to the Red Kettle campaign, and we heard a few moments ago about the turkeys, which the Salvation Army is paying retail price for. Okay, so you're paying retail price. You've got to raise money. Let's talk about the Red Kettle campaign. What is the campaign, and when does it start? And then the next question: how about volunteers?
Okay, the Red Kettle program is one of the our major fundraisers of the year. You can't pass Walmart or Lowe's Foods or Belk or Hobby Lobby without meeting someone ringing the bell.
Right.
And so that's our visibility piece, and it's a way that we pay for these turkeys. It really is. You know,
it's you mentioned a moment ago, you meet people. It's a great connection. You're a humbling connection. You're out there ringing a bell, standing by a red kettle, and people are passing by and dropping off coinage or bills. And let's talk about that in relationship to credit cards here in a moment. But there's an opportunity to see people that you know. As a matter of fact, it's one of the benefits of the campaign. I'm out there ringing the bell, and I see people I know. And so they're compelled to either walk away from me or hopefully step over and put some coinage in the kettle. The red kettles, how many, you're going to be doing this throughout Carteret County?
Yes, we'll be in primarily Morehead City. We have some in Cape Carteret. We do ring the bell at ABC and Beaufort a little bit.
Okay. When does it start?
Okay, it started last Friday.
It started already.
Yes, it
Okay.
started last Friday, and
I'm 3 days late in getting you started.
Walmart's a little bit later, be coming up the end of this week.
Okay.
They have a little bit different dates, but we'll need volunteers to help man those kettles.
All right, let's talk about volunteers. How do we get to be a volunteer?
So the best way to be a volunteer, to ring the bell, get your family involved, get your business involved. Take a whole day if you can. If you can take 2 hours, take 2 hours. Call the Salvation Army. You can call me directly on my cell phone,
Ooh.
252-269-3087. If you leave a message, I will call you back, I promise. And this is really a great way to give back to your community and to help those in need.
That phone number again.
252-269-3087.
Okay. All right. And that's a local number, 269-3087. And, you mentioned a moment ago families. This is a great opportunity for families to contribute, not only for the community, but, if you will, contribute to their fellow man, that fellow person, whatever you want to call it. But I think it's a great opportunity because this really will contribute to somebody's life.
And Lockwood, this opportunity will go away on Saturday, December 23rd.
Okay.
When that happens, at the end of that day, we're done for the year.
All right. If I want to volunteer, what should I do? Obviously, I'm going to call, give you the information. I want to volunteer. Can I, you're going to tell me where the spaces are available based on the days that I'm available. How does
Correct.
this all
So
work?
I'm going to drive around like I do every day at this time of year with my folder that has all the locations, all the gaps in there. And so I'm going to ask you, what day could you volunteer? You'll say, I can volunteer Saturday from 10 to 12. And I would look in there and see what I have available. And we could come to an agreement, and then we would have the equipment, and we would meet the volunteer there, make sure they got everything they need.
Well, all right. And I was thinking we had a call. 252 area code 222-4848 if you want to call in to speak with our guest, Major Aaron Goldfarb, for just a few more moments here on Viewpoints. Okay, so once I've arranged a time and location, what do I need to do? I just show up?
So you'll show up at the location.
Okay.
There may be a volunteer before you. There may be one after you, and so you'll get a brand new kettle that'll be completely empty.
Oh, okay.
And you'll get the bell and the apron, and you'll be ready to go. Hopefully, it won't be too cold.
No, well, wait a second. It's Christmas time, but you're correct to a large degree related to the temperature. For those who are finding themselves in desperate need and desperate straits, the temperature is a problem, and you've got to worry about heat and clothing and things of this nature. By the way, I want to make a comment. You have your store there at the Salvation Army on Bridges Street. Beautiful facility. And by the way, a lot of you've got a lot of staff that are working hard to keep those supplies, organized and moving in a smooth way. I want to compliment you on that as well.
Thank you.
The other aspect of this, you mentioned a moment ago, the contributions and how important Salvation Army is in that regard. What about those who might want to give something in addition to, maybe in the form of a credit card or something of that nature?
Thanks for asking, Lockwood. At every kettle on the sign, there's they call them a QR code. Right. There's also called a NFC tag. Mm-hmm. And if you have a smartphone, you just tap your smartphone onto that NFC tag, and it comes up, give.salvationarmy.org. You can give one time, you can give monthly, you can give any amount. You'll get an instant receipt. And if you have an older phone, you can just scan the QR code. It'll come up the same way.
All right, that's an important item. I'm glad I did ask that question. The Major's with us. We're wrapping it up with him. The Red Kettle campaign underway. Also remind you, free turkeys in Marshallburg. Again, that's at Trinity Methodist Church in Marshallburg,
Yes.
and then Atlantic on Thursday, and then again on Friday at the Salvation Army building in Bridget Street. Free turkeys for those who are in need, and then the Red Kettle campaign underway now. And that number, 252 area code 269-3087. Major, thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Lockwood.